KUAM 96910. We are here to help alleviate the financial toll cancer can take on an individual and their family, because at the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation, we believe Guam is good.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Guam's Chief Legal Officer and Chief Executive Officer are clashing over a plan to help the homeless. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with the details from the AG's press conference on the matter next.
The Guam Memorial Hospital may be facing a budget shortfall this fiscal year with vendor debt, Medicare reimbursement disparity, nursing shortage, and more. I'm Mitsuki Horiyama with the details coming up.
What must be done to close the gaps in care for our aging population, and how urgent is the need for more assisted living facilities in Guam? We'll have more on that tonight.
Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lengas. Thank you so much for starting your week off with us. Well, today, Judge John Terlahi approved Governor Lou Leon Guerrero's temporary restraining order against the Attorney General's Office and the Opioid Recovery Advisory Council's Dignity Project, halting its launch. AG Doug Moylan responded with a press conference defending the project. Nevaeh Anderson has the story.
Attorney General Douglas Moylan standing before Island Media today addressing Judge Terlahi's issuing of a temporary restraining order, effectively stopping the launch of the Dignity Project.
We tried the RFP process, we tried the bid process, and we ended up having to do sole source procurement in order to provide a limited set of services that this island hasn't seen before.
The project, approved 8 months ago in August 2024 by the Opioid Recovery Advisory Council, was set to provide 20 beds daily, meals, and assistance with resources. Project leader Tani Duenas highlighting the program's goals of providing both temporary shelter and pathways to employment.
It offers bridge services such as assistance with applying for welfare assistance, as well as the day labor program that we were supposed to assist with. As of today, we had 20 eligible homeless poor people that were ready to go into this project at 4 o'clock. It was stopped by the governor of Guam.
Moylan calls today's ruling a setback for those the project is meant to serve.
When you let pride stand in the way of things, people hurt. They suffer.
But the governor raises concerns over the legality of the contract, arguing it bypassed required approval processes, saying, "While I agree that we must all do more to help our island's homeless population, it is important that we accomplish this task lawfully. The Attorney General has demonstrated a pattern for disregarding the laws that stand between him and his goals." AG Moylan also saying the project is funded by settlement money from Guam's Opioid Recovery Trust Fund, not taxpayer dollars aimed at helping those struggling with addiction.
Exigency, irreparable injury, I'm sorry. Respectfully disagree with our judge. The irreparable injury and injury is to the beneficiaries of the Dignity Project, and that's why we're going to the Guam Supreme Court.
Despite the court's decision, Moylan once again calling for open dialogue between the two offices.
To put an open invitation to my aunt, Lourdes Aflawi Leon Guerrero, to call me up, her nephew Douglas Moylan, and let's focus upon helping our poor and homeless.
For now, project coordinators, partners, and the 20 individuals who were set to participate remain in limbo as the Attorney General's office plans to appeal the ruling to the Guam Supreme Court. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Well, just days after reaching a settlement to be reinstated as a government employee, Leo Espia, a former planner with the Office of Civil Defense, has been indicted on multiple corruption charges. A Superior Court grand jury returned a true bill Friday charging Espia And the following charges include theft by deception as a second-degree felony, tampering with public records as a third-degree felony, plus 3 misdemeanor counts tied to payroll mismanagement. All charges include a special allegation of a crime against the community. The indictment alleges SPIA certified timesheets with inaccurate payroll amounts while employed at OCD. This follows recent audits highlighting $2.9 million in unauthorized overtime and $8.2 million improperly charged to the general fund. Last week, the Civil Service Commission dismissed SPIA's long-running firing appeal, approving a settlement that will reinstate him as a classified employee, transfer him to the Port Authority of Guam, and award him back pay and retirement contributions. SPIA was terminated in 2022 over cybersecurity concerns. He denied wrongdoing and said the servers in question were known to OCD leadership, including Administrator Charles Estevez, who was also indicted on April 16. SPIA is ordered to appear in court on May 8th. The total number of current and former GHS/OCD employees facing corruption charges is now 6. Well, a former Air Force reservist and civilian employee at Andersen Air Force Base has been sentenced to 10 years in federal prison for attempted enticement of a minor. 46-year-old Richard J. Solong was arrested last May after he used a social media app to communicate with someone he believed was a 13-year-old boy. That individual was actually an undercover agent. Now authorities say Solong arranged to meet the minor for sexual activity on base, where he was taken into custody by special agents. In addition to the prison sentence, Solong must serve 5 years of supervised release and register as a sex offender in any jurisdiction where he lives, works, or studies. The case was investigated by Homeland Security Office of Special Investigations as part of the Department of Justice's Project Save Childhood initiative. A Dededo woman will spend the next 10 years in federal prison after being convicted of drug trafficking charges. 55-year-old Lorena Ann Farron, also known as Lori Leon Guerrero, was sentenced Friday in the District Court of Guam for conspiracy to distribute meth and engaging in unlawful money transactions. Authorities say Farron was involved in a drug operation that used the U.S. Postal Service to deliver meth to Guam. Investigators intercepted a package containing over 400 grams of the drug in November 2022. Farron and a co-defendant attempted to claim the package, but were quickly taken into custody. She was ordered to forfeit over $46,000 tied to the drug operation and will face 3 years of supervised release once her prison term is complete. Well, the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority leadership is set to go before senators next week for their budget hearing. A nursing shortage, vendor debt, delayed and denied payments from insurers, compounding a budget shortfall. Matsuki Hirayama has the details.
This budget cycle, the Guam Memorial Hospital is short $21.9 million. This according to Hospital Administrator and CEO Lillian Perez Posadas during a recent GMH board meeting. She met with senators to push for the increased funding, but so far, no guarantees.
They can't guarantee that we will get the $21.9 million, so they're asking us if we would settle for less than that. But no, we need the $21.9 million.
The ask is over $10 million more than last year, according to GMH Chief Financial Officer Yuka Hechinova. It's to pay their personnel and to pay off their debt to vendors to get much-needed supplies. All this amid a nursing shortage that's forced them to hire more travel nurses. And on top of that, denials and delayed payments from local insurers, further compounding the public hospital's finances.
So, that's been a real big challenge, and that's why we end up not being able to pay our vendors. Then it impacts our supplies, and it impacts our, provision of patient care. Staff, nurses are getting frustrated that they're not able to do whatever it is that they need to do to provide the care for the patient because supplies.
The Medicare reimbursement disparity is an ongoing issue.
Come to the conclusion that our payers are not paying us appropriately. We're not getting reimbursed what we provide, what we claim.
The board weighing whether they should take more aggressive action against local insurers, like suing them.
Right now, we're constantly sending them the aging. You owe us this much. You owe us this much. We're sending interest statements on outstanding balances, but he wants us to take it further, and we need to sue these people.
Meantime, hospital leadership will be advocating for their budget before lawmakers on May 5th. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Thanks, Suki. Well, they are considered the treasures of our community, our manamku. But what options are out there for our aging population to continue to live an independent life while still getting the care they need? It's a critical topic discussed during this month's Interagency on Homelessness meeting.
What are we going to do about the aging population and the obvious change in our family dynamics when there is a need for more assisted living facilities on Guam? That's the question posed by Department of Public Health and Social Services Director Therese Areola during her trip to Florida for the National Conference on Aging.
People are living longer, less babies being born because this generation is not having babies as much. So the aging population is there.
Her concern rising as a new assisted living facility in Tamuning nears completion, a step-down 30-unit shelter aimed at decompressing social cases at both Guam Memorial Hospital and Guam Regional Medical City.
What are we going to do about the many who don't have loved ones or have the capacity to take care of themselves, even if they're single and in a home?
It's a similar issue brought to light during a public hearing on Bill 31-38 back in February, legislation aimed at expanding assisted living options in Guam. Peter Alexis Ada, who says he is currently working to establish an assisted living facility, highlighting the growing need in his testimony.
There are 19 patients at Guam Memorial Hospital at SNU that are ready to be discharged. 2.5 hours ago, I received an update. The number has now increased to 22. These people could have been discharged from Guam Memorial Hospital, but these patients do not have no place to be released to or place to go.
Meanwhile, Areola during this month's Interagency on Homelessness and OHAP meeting urging the need for an executive order to address housing concerns for the aging population. At that same meeting, Division of Homelessness and Poverty Prevention Director Robson Augustine giving an update on the Safe House Pilot Program, short for Shelter Assistance for the Elderly, focused on supporting patients ready for discharge who may otherwise face homelessness.
So this house is going to be a place to give them some temporary additional recovery time for them. And then also while they are there, we can get them connected to services and get some case management going on with them. And then also get them signed up for any housing programs that they can.
San Augustine adding this program will also serve disabled individuals.
Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
Superspeed your life with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet. Get symmetrical upload and download speeds up to 5 gigs. Get started with Fiber 500 at $145 a month, Fiber 1 gig at $215 a month, or Fiber 5 gig at $299 a month. Plus, get 2 SuperPod 6Es with any plan, and a free EcoFlow River 3 and bonus welcome kit with 1 gig and 5 gig plans. Experience tomorrow's islands today with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet.
I wish they could move back home.
Should we build on a honeymoon?
Yes. Yes!
First Hawaiian Bank knows that family comes first. That's why our bankers work with you to make your what-ifs a reality. Personalized service and digital tools, all under one roof when you bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Something is calling, and I can't help it. Let's don't belong when there ain't no song. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when I make a move. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when let's take a break. There's no use. My mood when I make a move. This is my mood when
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, as Guam Fire Department Chief Darren Burrier stated, today is a wonderful day as someone who has moved up the ranks over the years has now reached chief level within the agency. In a ceremony held Monday at Adaloop in front of family, friends, and fellow GFD brothers and sisters, Battalion Chief Ronnie Chagina was promoted to Assistant Fire Chief. Burrier praised the stellar career of Chagina, who graduated from the 12th fire cycle in 1990.
I'm happy to be able to bring him up and have this opportunity to promote him in this time in his career to step up on that ladder of leadership. And I see that from the room, he's got a large base of firefighters that is going to help keep him stable on that ladder and keep moving forward in leading this department.
As Assistant Fire Chief, Chagina is responsible for all the overall planning, organizing, and directing of the day-to-day operations and the evaluation of all emergency operations, including fire suppression, rescue, emergency, medical services, and hazardous materials mitigation. Chagina grateful to take on such a great role.
I am so humbled by the support that I see here today, and I am very thankful that I have this opportunity to make this department great or even greater.
Congratulations to Assistant Fire Chief Chagina. Well, the Department of Public Health and Social Services is alerting the public about a voluntary recall of select bags of Mauna Loa dark chocolate covered macadamias due to undeclared almonds and cashews. Individuals with nut allergies are advised not to consume the recalled products, which could trigger severe allergic reactions. The affected bags include 0.6 ounce and 4 ounce sizes with specific UPC codes and lot numbers. The specifics can be found on KUAM.com. Now consumers can return the products for a full refund. Public Health reports no local cases of illness at this time. Well, this past weekend, if you saw a large group of high schoolers, police officers, and servicemen trekking along Tuman and Marine Corps Drive, today you witnessed selfless service and teamwork. The JFK Air Force Junior ROTC program conducted their annual Bataan Memorial March, honoring the thousands of lives lost in the Philippines during World War II.
Hey, shout out to 14 miles. Shout out to my family, my friends, everybody in the world. Yeah, hey, JFK.
We get to do this every year and remember those who weren't so fortunate during the Bataan Death March. So this is our Bataan Memorial March. We have about 50 cadets out here. GPD came out to escort us around this corner here, but it's for a great cause and it helps the kids remember what those sacrifices were all about.
We want to remember all the Filipinos that were killed during the Bataan March. And of course, a lot of our cadets are Filipinos. They're from the Philippines. So this right there, it touches their hearts, you know, just to think that we're going to do this. And believe it or not, everywhere in the United States where there's a junior ROTC, there's a Bataan March going on.
Today they're covering 14 miles. We started at Gun Beach, and then we did a loop around JFK up, and then we came back around to make up for the distance that would have been short if we'd have just gone straight from Gun Beach down to Asan. So total of 14 miles, much shorter than the 65 that was done during the Bataan Death March.
We've got over 4,000 community service hours this year. So that's pretty much, that's a plus. The kids want to be involved. The kids are learning to be involved.
Yeah! Viva KUAM!
We want them to remember that life is not always easy. This is something small that we can do for those people that gave the ultimate sacrifice. So we ask them, as they're walking, it's been about 4 hours that they stop, and just think about what this walk means and the sacrifices people made, that they can be here today and do it for free.
Let's get it, baby.
You guys did a great job, and that's to honor their memory. That's the most important thing we can do. So guys, give yourself a round of applause. Good job, guys. Well done.
Let's now move further down Marine Corps Drive and go up the hill, because over in Agani Heights, the Central Village played host to the annual Coconut Festival. The many uses of the fruit in native Chamorro culture were exhibited in art, fashion, tooling, and of course for food. But just don't go anywhere near the coconut crab, who was safely behind cages guarding its favorite treat. We enjoyed the Central hospitality, the music, and most of all, the coconut candy.
Here's a look at your world at home. Here is Asan Beach Park.
GU Self-Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Pines hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self-Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
At the heart of Guam, there's one place where everyone comes together. Kmart, your American superstore, celebrating 30 years with you. To our brave service members, enjoy a special military discount every day as our thanks. To our local community, we've grown with you, bringing trusted brands at prices you love. This season, celebrate with us. From fiestas to family gatherings, we're your one-stop shop. Since 1995, we've grown with you. Here's to 30 years of memories, savings, and the spirit of Guam. Kmart, where everyone is family.
Hafaday, si Ursula Herrera-Zu, and I'm with the Guam Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Development Services, or ADS. Happy Soil and Water Stewardship Week! Our jungles do more than provide us with shade. They protect our native plants and animals. Our jungles give us life. When we plant trees, we're helping our land stay strong for the future. And it starts small, with just one tree. Home is where our habitat is, so let's care for it together. Para iman mamala, zin para lina lokta.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
McDonald's meets the Minecraft universe with 6 new collectibles in a Minecraft movie meal.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Ah, thanks, Taco Bell!
Tally ho, everybody. All right, News Bite today I'm dedicating to my boys, Vic, Mitch, and Jake. They're standing right off camera and everything, but you know, we got 3 cool guys on our staff, 3 amazing events. All right, here's the first one. Summer Math Research Program. If you like numbers and you like analysis, you like interpretation, take your math game to the next level. That seniors and graduates, sophomores and juniors, underclassmen, you're invited to, so make sure to scan the QR codes and get invited with that. All right, Raider Rally. Raiders! All right, if you went to St. Anthony, if you go to St. Anthony, if you're from St. Anthony, make sure to check this out because at the Micronesia Mall, they're going to have this amazing event. They're going to show their robotics team. They're going to show their choir, all of the wonderful performances. Starlight is a absolutely mind-blowing performance by the kids over there, so make sure to get involved with that and support St. Anthony. It's a really, really good school. All right, and NAD Collab is coming up, so we want you to prepare to go to be amazed. This is going to be on May 3rd. That's this weekend, everybody. It's going to be downtown. Make sure to get your tickets at guamtime.net. Too many collabs to mention here, but just the sheer volume of them is amazing. And you know what's amazing? You are. And so are these events on News Bites. So just bring them together. Have a good time. Happy birthday on this Monday to Civil. Happy birthday. We love and miss you from your family in North Carolina and Colorado. Nice. Rihanna Opeña, happy 18th birthday on your special day, and may all your birthday wishes come true from Grandma Bert and Papa Alvin. Taylor Jolie Cruz, enjoy your birthday week, and we love you. Not just today, but the entire week. That's awesome. Kid Curtis Delgado, happy birthday to you, and you've grown into a remarkable young man. Daddy and the entire family loves you always. And happy birthday, Aubrey Chaco, from your Run Team family, an exceptional athlete. All right. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And that's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful. This is the KUAM Podcast Network, Off the Record, where nothing is. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus.
I'm Mitsuki Hirayama. I'm Nevaeh Anderson.
We're just girlies yapping about all things stress. What is it?
Is it normal?
And how do we cope with it?
Let's dive in.
Happy day, everybody. Welcome back to this month's podcast episode of Off the Record. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus.
I'm Nevaeh.
And I'm Mitsuki Hirayama. Yay! So we are going to be talking about something really important, something that everybody in the world deals with, unless you're a unicorn and you're one of those lucky people that don't deal with stress. And it is Stress Awareness Month. So let's dive into it, ladies. How do you guys feel about stress? Do you deal with stress well?
Oh, that's a tough question. But that's what we're here to talk about, right?
Well, for me personally, how do I deal with stress? I feel like I've never really thought about it before. I mean, before actually doing this podcast. So it gave me a chance to really think about it. But I feel like I don't really have like a proper way of dealing with stress. It just kind of like stacks up and bottles up until, you know, you just have to like scream into the void. But that's what we're here to discuss though. What about you guys? How do you guys deal with stress?
Yeah. I'm the same thing with you, Sue, because I think I never truly think too hard about how I deal with stress. So maybe the simple answer is I don't deal with stress. I don't have that process figured out yet. And
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. How about you, babe?
I feel like back in college, I was not very good at managing or dealing with my stress. I kind of just powered through it.
Yeah.
And didn't really take care of myself as I powered through it. But now I think that I have more time and I'm not always like bogged down by my studies and everything. I think I've been able to like make more time to like spend time with my family to deal with my stress, or to just have me days, go run errands on my own, no music in the car, literally just silent in the car. That helps me deal with stress. Just quiet time and time for myself.
That's a great point. Like when you talk about quietness, because there's a lot of loudness in our lives. And I think in everybody's lives, there's a lot of noise. And I think not noise necessarily in a bad way. It's just, it's so hard when you're prioritizing work and the voices or the voices that come with that you kind of drown out your own. And so, yeah, I think specifically for the work that we do, we're always listening to people, which is, again, a privilege for us. But it is kind of hard to prioritize your needs and your own voice in your head when you're like, I'm hungry, but also we need to finish the mountain of work that we have in front of us, you know?
I really get what you're saying. I feel like especially, I feel like we're all introverts, but I know you and I are real big introverts. So especially being in front of the camera like every day, or just having our voices on the air every day, it's like, I feel like that could be a big stress factor, just like learning to deal with that. And also, I feel like because I'm an introvert, I like what you mentioned about like all the voices, like there's just like, sometimes there's just like overstimulating. And I like to be alone at the end of the day and just like cuddle with my dog and I just need to have my own me time. Yeah. Which is why I truly like, what's the word? Savor the weekend. Yes. I truly live for the weekend because it's like time to be alone. Yes. And then recharge for the work week. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I guess it sounds like we're all on our own journeys of figuring out what dealing with stress and stress management looks like, because we are relatively young, way younger than us. So
the baby
and I are not super old yet, but
you guys aren't even
can't
old.
wait to
You're
be
not
30.
even 30.
But I can't wait to be a manunku, because I feel like at that point they got it figured out.
This is something we always say.
They have their boundaries set. They know how to deal with the stress factors. And with us, I mean, for the most part, this is our first time in a professional setting, like our big girl job. So we're still trying to figure out what that looks like and what boundaries look like. So I think we always talk about, we like one of the things that we implement that we haven't realized is going on walks together, even if they're short or long.
We love our infusion walks.
We love to walk to infusion, get
or
a bite
we walk
to
to Honey
eat.
House and we're like, let's get Sunny Angels. Let's get little like the
collectibles.
The collectibles, yes.
Yeah. Retail therapy, like that's actually, now that I think about it, retail therapy, that's how I deal with stress sometimes, just buying Sunny Angels. And sometimes Lafufus, because it's a hit or miss, you know, with Labubu.
Yeah, I hear you.
TMI.
Off the Record is part of the KUAM Podcast Network. Watch more episodes on the KUAM News YouTube channel and listen on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
That is a great point. But that, I mean, implementing those small things in our work days really helps, and just having the support of women, especially in the workplace, which is beautiful, that predominantly it's women in our workplace, so we understand.
I truly love.
Yeah, so we get what it's like to go through similar experiences, and also being women reporters and anchors, so we understand the struggles that comes with it sometimes. So we're able to lean on each other and support each other, which is a really great thing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely not easy, but it's something that, because we have each other, as you mentioned, makes us be able to get through the day. And I truly appreciate you guys.
Oh, Dano, I appreciate you guys so much too. I look forward to those small things. I know you guys have heard of triggers, right? Things that always offset, or that can offset feelings of negativity, or it just doesn't put you in the best space. But I just recently learned this thing called a glimmer.
A glimmer?
Yes, so it's the opposite of a trigger. It triggers happiness or gratitude. And so that's
me when I see you guys. All my glimmers.
You guys are my glimmers.
When you guys are on leave, I'm like,
oh, no, literally. If
it's
one of you guys are on leave, I'm just like, how am I going to get through the day?
I feel you. I'm just like, the Holy Trinity is missing. We really do support each other, and when one of us isn't here, I'm just like, we need each other to kind of just get through the day. But yeah, you guys are one of my glimmers, and glimmers does offset happiness, but it really helps me. I guess that's the answer to stress management for me, or is just gratitude, finding the small things in my day that can help me be a little bit more grateful. So I'm like, dang, it's such a stressful day. I'm hungry and I have no time for myself. But then when we just go outside and it's warm and the office is so cold, I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful we do have a cold office, but I'm also grateful to feel the sun. So it's just those small things that can really turn your day around,
Definitely. I love defrosting in the sun.
Burning.
Very grateful for Guam's weather.
Yes. Definitely.
Very grateful that King's is right next door.
Yeah.
And we go there all the
barbecue
time.
breakfast.
Barbecue breakfast at King's. It's our favorite.
Our favorite, our absolute fave. So I don't know. I guess we talked a little bit about
how we deal with stress. I also want to talk about what kind of stress do you guys, or in what situations do you guys get stressed out from?
I think when just in terms of working, I think when we have to go cover things where there are bigger crowds and there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of people talking and it's just a lot of noise, I think that can stress me out because in working alongside our production teams, I want to make sure that we're getting quality sound and quality video for them to make their job easier so that they don't have to do all that work of isolating the sound and stuff like that. But we have good mics and everything now that make it a lot easier. But those really busy and chaotic events that we have to cover sometimes.
I totally feel you on
that.
I
mean, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to for example, a press conference. I just recall I felt for the most recent press conference I went to was for GPD. We went to the GPD headquarters, and I just remember being the only woman there. And that's usually the case. I feel when we go to when we cover events, we're usually the sole I guess female reporter there, and it's kind of tough to be in that I guess situation. And sometimes because we are in broadcast, usually we're the ones asking all the questions, I feel and I do feel my heart is racing 90% of the time. My heart is going it's my heart beats in my head, and I just I get so anxious and like stressed out in those moments. But yeah, just I guess the word of the day is kind of to like just power through it.
Yeah.
Off the Record is part of the KUAM Podcast Network. Watch more episodes on the KUAM News YouTube channel and listen on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Is your child having difficulty walking, talking, playing and learning like other children? As parents, we ask ourselves, what should I be doing? If you are worried about your child's development, the Guam Early Learning Council is here to help. Simply dial 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays, to get resources and valuable information.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
All right, ladies, so I do want to ask, what type of stress do you guys deal with in the workplace?
Oh. I think a big one for me, I am kind of an introvert. I mean, I can like turn on the extrovertedness. But one of the stressors that I've experienced is like when we have to cover things that are certain events that are very chaotic, and there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of people talking, like, you know, the inaugurations were happening and it echoes in the Congress building, and it was just very loud, and you're trying to interview people and make sure that the sound is good, that the visual is good, so that when we get back to the office, it's an easier process to get the story out. But I feel like that's like pretty stressful sometimes, or overwhelming.
Yeah, it's very overstimulating. I think we all talk about that too, like sensory, not sensory issues, but just dealing with the the noise, the visuals, just everything can kind of culminate into one big stress ball.
And then having to chase people down in these situations where like other people are also trying to talk to them, and you're like, Senator, please.
You just reminded me of something. Now that you mentioned that, and also the Guam Congress building, but the governor's State of the Island address. Oh my gosh, that was like.
That was a lot. Yeah, you did. You slayed that
suit. That has been like the most stressful thing work related wise this year for me. Is just like having to try to like find, like, thankfully Jason was there, like producing for me. He was trying to grab all the senators, but then, like, you know, senators wanted to go home after, so it was kind of hard to get them, and I was just like, I just have to talk because we're live, and if I don't talk, it's gonna be like
dead space.
But yeah, that's like those type of situations, especially like dealing with all that noise, all that chaos, and having to perform live. It's just like, well, quote unquote perform, but trying to like do your job. It's just, I feel like that's like where I get a lot of stress.
It's very high stakes when you think about what it is that we do. And of course, that's not to over prioritize what we do compared to other professions, but I feel like this job has so many stress factors that come with it because we are live a lot of the time. We are asking not the most comfortable questions, and, you know, as women also, that like to put ourselves in the middle of conflict as well is also intimidating, but not that we can't do it. We always can. And we can always overcome it. But it is interesting too, like balancing culture, or our culture of being respectful and asking things respectfully, but also having to be very direct, you know, and confrontational. No, it's not always, those things aren't negative. It's just that our job requires us to do that. And so balancing the two is always a struggle, at least for me. Like, how do I ask a question but not come off as disrespectful? Because I always want to be respectful, and I want to give our interviewees the opportunity to, you know, not explain themselves. That's not the right.
But like address
like something, because it is fair for them that to ask, or for us to ask, and for them to have the opportunity to speak to our people.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's stressful for me.
That balancing act of like having to, or not having to, but like you don't want to burn bridges, but at the same time, it's also our job to, it's like it's a hard way to say it, but like it's true. It's like we're here to keep people accountable when like for the community, because sometimes the community don't have a voice. They don't have the same platform that we have to be able to go out there and ask, like for example, officials questions and stuff. So it's always that balancing act that comes with the stress factor. I feel like.
Yeah.
Just
And
to
it
jump
is
off.
stressful. That is stressful, but I think we really do, to give ourselves some credit, I think we do. Yeah, we do our best, and I think that we always try to lead with kindness and respect. I don't think you have to compromise either of those things to be a good reporter. So
Exactly. I feel like my motto at like the end of the day is just, could I look at myself in the mirror and be okay with what I did today?
Yeah.
That's just like my motto at the end of the day. Just keeping that, like ethical balance. And
yeah, definitely. And I think the three of us also do a good job at, we have each other to turn to when we are faced with that fear of like, oh man, I think I might have been too aggressive, or I'm scared that maybe I should have tackled a story at a different way. So just having each other to lean on is also a big stress reliever, and I'm really thankful that we have those support systems in our workplace. Our glimmers. Our little glimmers.
Like, there's also like the emotional stress. Like
Yes.
certain situations that we have to go report are like, they can be like scary,
Yeah.
or like, it's like a crime scene, or there's like a
Yes.
scene of a crash, or something really tragic happened, and we have to be in that place and then deal, like kind of like disassociate
Yeah.
and just be like, okay, I can't get emotional even though it's really affecting me. And then we get back to the office, and then I feel like together we kind of just can let the emotions come
kind
out.
of like bend to each other.
Yes.
I do like I barely blah, blah. I relate to what you just said about like I feel like I sometimes like have like a different persona for work, so I try to like separate like my personal self and my work self just a little bit, because I feel like my personal self, like she's very introverted, but then my work self is like I like what you said, you just turn on the switch and it's like you're putting yourself out there, you have to be extroverted, and it's just what the job requires. But I feel like I've learned how to kind of like balance that and flip that switch on and off.
Yeah, and
It's
that
just
that in itself is like a stress technique to separate, having boundaries, like Vay was mentioning earlier, having boundaries and setting those boundaries and sticking to them. I think that's something I'm really learning and working on as a girly in my big girly job.
Just a girly job.
Like I'm so used to like, when someone asks me to jump, I'll be like, how high? And so I think that, eventually that wears on you. So I'm just like, how can I continue to do the best that I can for myself and for who needs it, but also prioritize my mental health and, my emotional health. And because if those things are compromised, then you can't do your best. So prioritizing ourselves and working through that stress is so important. Yeah.
Off the Record is part of the KUAM Podcast Network. Watch more episodes on the KUAM News YouTube channel and listen on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victorious Fawn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are One Micronesia.
The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily.
Join us in saluting those making strides and serving in our armed forces every Tuesday on the KUAM News Instagram account. These weekly posts round up profiles of Guamanians receiving accolades in the armed forces, those stationed on Guam making a difference in our community, and veterans being recognized for their service. Presented by Future Smiles Orthodontics. Build a brighter future with a brighter smile.
So we're talking about boundaries, right? What are some boundaries that you guys think you've put in place to help you?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I feel like what I mentioned earlier is just like having that moral code of just being able to say at the end of the day, would I be able to look at myself at the end of the day and be okay with how I reported something.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a boundary I set within myself.
Yeah,
but are you
that.
like asking for like boundaries you set like with other people
or anything, like I guess workplace and also
like work-life
yeah.
balance kind of?
Yeah.
I think one thing, other than the times when we're on call, I think a big way that I set a boundary between work and my personal life is if I'm not on call, I'm not checking my phone constantly, and I'm not keeping my work phone right beside me at all times.
Yeah.
I'll check it maybe before I go to bed, just in case anybody needs anything. But yeah, taking time away from work and just, being present at home, especially if you're dissociating with things that are going on with work, whatever you're reporting on, or
Yeah, that's very true. And like I said, I'm still learning how to, what boundaries look like for me and how to implement them gradually into my life. But, just veering off a little bit from my question, but there's also a lot of stress that comes from the job, like emotional stress. So something that I'm still working through is when you're speaking to someone, maybe after a tragedy. It's happened when right after a car accident, I would speak to a victim's loved one and they would share all these memories about their loved one. And of course, the story is not about us, but we also carry that emotional baggage with us.
We're only human.
Yeah. And I feel selfish a lot of the time when I'm like, man, I feel so sad about this, but it's not about me. But I can't help, like you said, feel sad about it, and it lingers for a long time. So I'm still really working through how to manage the emotional aspect of, listening and hearing, being able to hear somebody's pain after something really tragic is really stressful for them.